Are you a painter that has spent a lot of time learning how to paint? Heavy techniques, strategies, academic rules, or you've just developed a way of painting by a lot of years of practice that is uniquely you, and you're content that way. For some of us, we've taken the courses, we know how to paint, but there's been an inner itch, an inner voice in our heart saying, I want to say something with a point of view. I want to express a strong belief that I have through paint and pigment now. I want to take all of those techniques and start altering them in a way that aligns with the message that I want to convey through what I'm painting and how I'm painting it. For the next 4 weeks, I'm going to be addressing these types of questions and concepts to help those painters who are ready to move beyond the how to paint and you want to move into the why you want to paint the way you do, aligned with the message of your choice. It's shifting us into considering what's our point of view. And if your desire and your heart says you want to create your version of beautifully different and interesting, we've got to start shifting our mindsets beyond the technical how to paint. And we've got to start asking the deeper questions of why does certain marks and certain colors and certain strokes matter to us. So I have a question for you, and I'm going to spend the next 4 weeks posing questions each day. And I hope that some of these questions and my insight a little bit can give you some insight to find your own answers. And maybe by the end of the 4 weeks, you're going to have a better a better confidence around what it is you really want to say and why it matters to you as a painter and as a creative human being. So the first question that I'm going to pose to you is, are there certain subject matters, marks, or colors that you are drawn to or turn to by default over time? That's an important question. The reason why, when we think about visual language and style, that typically is based on the consistent repetition that we use as painters in the colors that we choose, in the ideas that we come up with, and in the physical way that we construct our paintings. That's what creates our visual language. And if you do that over time, it gives you a consistent, cohesive style. And that's what collectors and investors are drawn to, right? So the question to ask is, are you drawn to a certain subject matter? Are you drawn to making certain types of marks in your work? Are you drawn to using certain colors? And if so, why? Do you branch out from beyond those, or is that all you know how to do? If they serve you creatively well, that's awesome. But I want to challenge you that if you've taken the courses and you know how to paint, but you only know how to paint a certain way with certain colors, with certain marks, and you don't know how to do anything beyond that, you might be in a default mode of only learning that one skill, and you might want to consider branching out and expanding that. Why? For example, if you learned how to paint faces, but the only face that you know how to paint is front facing the camera, you don't know how to tilt the head, alter, shift a light source, but you're really, really good at painting a face directly looking at the camera with very little expression, right? It's awesome that you can paint that way. And if it brings you joy and you love it, that's wonderful too. But what if you wanted to tell a story, let's say about a female young girl who was struggling to find her identity, and you wanted to convey in how you painted that face the emotional angst of what she's feeling? Would you know how to do that? Would you know how to alter and shift the expression on the face using marks and color and structure and line to let the viewer feel and understand what it is that you want to convey about that person's story. And if you don't know how to do that, then that's your kind of wake-up call that you might want to shift beyond your default and start exploring some ways that are aligned with why you want to paint. If you want to take what you know and now shift it and attach point of view and story to it, you need to first consider where you are in your technical process, and then give yourself permission to begin exploring ways of working and constructing paintings that will attach to your point of view and to the message that you want to share. Because it's in that message that you want to share that's going to hold the clues and the keys to you unlocking and shifting the physical way that you paint. If you want to paint a face with tender expression in a soft and beautiful way, that's going to be very different than painting a face with bold, confident, stern expression, right? The structure would be different. Most likely the colors would be different. But it's first in identifying what's the message that you want to say through paint and pigment about the subject matter of your choice. And based on that message, how can you then alter the physical way that you paint and the colors that you choose and the ideas that you come up with to help your message speak through paint and pigment.